everybody, I'm Garrett.
And I'm Carolyn.
And we're Diary of a Family.
We're living life intentionally with you. Today we have some wonderful guests, and our son is in here.
Okay, that's
Edison,
fine.
you're storming us.
It's fine. Go outside.
We'll fix it. Yeah, we'll fix it later.
We'll fix it.
later. These are our wonderful new friends. This is Jarhead and Ginger's Journey. Woo! Check out their channel. But we have Scott and Allison. Welcome to the show. We're excited to talk with you.
I'm excited to be here.
Yeah, this should be fun.
We found out that they were coming into the NRVTA, and we're like, well, I was like, Garrett, we have another interview. Come on, we can do it. Ask them. And I kept bugging him. Ask them. Have you asked them? Can we interview them? It'll work out perfectly.
Yeah.
So we're glad you're here.
Yes, thank you.
Thanks.
First off, take a moment just to introduce yourselves to our D-fam. That's what we call those who follow us. Our subscribers, they are the Diary family. Go ahead and introduce yourself.
Hello, D-Fam. I'm Scott, and this is Allison. I am originally from Washington State. I moved away from Washington in '91 to join the Marine Corps. Got out of the Marine Corps in 2000. Was a civilian working for the government for the last 20 years. Recently retired in August, and now we're full-timing.
That's right. I'm Allison. We met in 92 and have been together, or 91, got married in 92, been together, and I've been following them around the world ever since. I am from right here in Texas, and we have 4 kids. They're all grown up, so we are empty nesters.
Oh, retired, empty nesters, world travelers. Oh my goodness. That's amazing. I love that.
Quite a story.
It's quite a story.
Quite a few stories, maybe.
How long you got?
Yeah, right.
Okay, so
an hour.
I didn't put this on our list of questions, but why the name Jarhead and Ginger's Journeys? Can you tell us the story behind that?
We actually, when we started our YouTube channel, we had maybe 10 or 20 subscribers at the time, and we put a video out asking people to help us with the name, and we really didn't get any response because it was only probably our family that we had subscribed to us.
Well, when you're that small, that's
right.
basically.
So then we just kind of had to come up with it on our own, and since she's a redhead and I'm a Marine, it's Jarhead and Ginger, and we knew already we had planned to full time, so that's going to be our journey. So it just kind of fell into Jarhead and Ginger's Journey.
That's awesome. So what do you travel in?
We have a 397TH, Grand Design Momentum 397TH.
It's a nice little trailer.
We just picked it up.
It's little. It'll work.
We've only been in it 2 months. Today is our 2-month anniversary.
Oh, that's
we
right.
went up to Elkhart, Indiana, and picked it up. And as soon as I walked in that thing, I'm like, oh, this is too big.
And now 2 months into it, is it too big still?
No. Well, it's too big for some of the
custom?
things that we want to do, but it's just right for us.
And what do you pull it with?
I have a 2020 Ford F450. It's awesome. I love it.
He's a Ford guy.
No, not necessarily.
Not necessarily.
I was never a Ford. I had a Ford once when I was in high school, and I had to take it to the shop a lot. So I stayed completely away from Fords until this last one. What sold me on the Ford though was the wider front end and the tighter turning radius, and the bigger brakes. Mm-hmm. So I know I got a lot of poundage behind me.
Right.
I need to stop that.
Yeah. I know there's concern though about the death rattle. You've heard about that with the Fords, and I think Jeeps too.
Yeah, I don't know if that's up in the dually class. I think it's like the 250s.
Is it just the 250s?
I think it might be the little bit smaller ones, but I am definitely aware of the death rattle, and I don't ever want to experience it.
I hope you don't have to. Welcome, Graham Patterson's on. Welcome to the show. We are interviewing these wonderful folks, Scott and Allison, and their channel is Jarhead and Ginger's Journey. So, Gary, you want to... I always run the show, and then I'm like, I'm sorry, Garrett. You can ask a question, too.
So you guys are well-traveled across the world. Tell us a little more about some of those travels, and particularly Japan.
Okay, well, I'll give you kind of a rundown. The first time we went to Japan, we were just married. It was our second year of marriage, and the Marine Corps decided that I needed to go to Japan for a year by myself.
Oh no!
So
2 years
And I had
into
just
marriage.
had a baby.
Yeah.
Oh
And
no!
we had just had, so that
No, that's wrong.
according to her, that wasn't happening. So she actually came over, and we're living out in town on our own. And I'm an E4 at the time. I barely made any money at all, but we made that work. And so that was our first trip. And then the second time we went back, I was an E6, a staff sergeant. We had we didn't. We had 3 of our kids at that time.
Yes.
And so we went back for 4 years that time and had our youngest daughter. And I also got out of the Marine Corps and stayed in Japan during that tour.
Mm-hmm.
And then we left, and then we went back again to Japan in 2012, July of 2012.
And I asked Allison in the laundry room the other day, so do you speak Japanese? And she said, no, not really.
Over in Japan, there's so many bases and so many Americans, and most of the Japanese or Okinawans there speak English well enough that we don't have to, so they make us lazy enough not to even worry about it, which is bad.
You were saying your friends wanted to practice their English.
Yes.
Yeah.
So they'd teach you a few words in Japanese, but then they wanted to practice with you.
That's right, yeah. So I had one close friend that didn't speak much English. She was on the missionary board thing that I was on, and so we couldn't communicate. She kept trying to talk to me, and I couldn't talk to her. So I tried. We took a few different classes to try and learn, but
yeah,
it just didn't
work well.
with us.
So your youngest was born in Japan?
Yes.
Mm-hmm.
How is that like in comparison to a U.S. birth? About the same?
Well, it was the same pretty much because she was born in the U.S.
on the
Naval
base,
Hospital.
yeah.
The only thing is she had the opportunity, if she wanted to, I guess, to become a Japanese citizen.
Wow.
Or
Not sure
dual,
about
maybe.
that.
A
Something
dual
like that.
citizenship, yeah. Your mom was born in Brazil, and so she has dual citizenship.
American missionaries,
Oh,
and so
cool.
she has dual citizenship.
Nice.
That's awesome.
Yeah.
We didn't get a lot of traveling done, other than back to the U.S. the first 2 times we were there. But this last time when we went back, we only had 1 kid left with us, so we actually got the opportunity to travel.
That's
and
great.
Garrett was asking us about the well-traveled. We actually started a kind of like a tradition where we would be somewhere different for Christmas and New Year's every year.
Oh, that's cool.
So-
I
That's
was
really
missing
cool.
I was missing my adult children so much, and we only had the one, so I was sad. So it's like, let's go somewhere.
I don't want to do
Do
Christmas
something.
with only 1 kid.
Yes.
Yeah, yeah.
So we ended up in Bali, and we did Germany and England 1 year. We did Taipei 1 year, Korea. So we got
Korea's
Vietnam.
cool.
Korea
Yeah,
wasn't
Vietnam.
Christmas, but yeah,
Very
Vietnam.
cool.
Nearly died in Vietnam.
Oh no.
So yeah,
I got hit by a car.
Oh no.
I didn't even leave a bruise.
hit by a
I
car.
was standing on the curb looking that way at traffic, getting ready to cross at the crosswalk, and on this side I feel something pushing against my leg, and it was a car backing into me. Thankfully there was a mother and a son that were on this side. If the little boy would have been on this side, it wouldn't have been good.
Oh
He'd have been
no.
pinched.
Yeah.
Oh dear.
And then I got a bad cold, and it turned out, I think, COVID for him. He got so sick, and then when we got back to Japan, I said, "Oh yeah, you have pneumonia."
Ah.
Just before testing.
Oh, that's
Yeah, that was
crazy.
the worst. I actually
Yeah.
took an entire week off. That's the most I ever took off for sick
Yeah.
in my whole career.
Yeah. Yeah, a lot of people who get even a mild case say that they felt crappy for like 2 weeks, even
Mhm.
up to a month. They have lingering symptoms. So.
Yeah.
Welcome to Bridget. Bridget Machida's on, and so is Proceeding Onward in America. Welcome. Let's see. I can't really read the comments. You want to catch us up on the comments, Garrett? Any questions?
So Bridget was asking, "Do you speak Japanese?" But that's as you were talking about it.
Yeah.
So
Okay.
there's
Skoshi.
Skoshi,
yeah,
yeah.
just a skoshi.
There's a lot of hellos to everybody.
Yeah.
Bridget asked, all the menus had. Bridget said that they went to Japan for a week
Oh, nice.
to visit, and they said that all the menus had beautiful pictures that you could point to order the food.
Mm-hmm.
Yes.
And then he said they had plastic food outside of the restaurant to
Yes.
help
Yes.
you see what to eat.
Yes, and if you've never been there and you don't know what that means, they actually have like a display case in most of the restaurants outside, and whatever the dish is, it's made with plastic, but it looks identical to the food that comes out.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know, it's really cool, but they have a display, and a lot of them have writing on in English even what it is.
Or a number.
One of the places we went had those, and the little writing said stir fly set instead of stir fry set. Set is just a combo.
Yeah, I would really like the stir fly over there.
Yeah,
I have the stir fly set.
Okay.
Yummy.
Sounds like a
I know Bridget's really interested because her spouse is of Japanese descent, and he has family who still live in Japan.
Oh, cool.
And then all up and down the west coast as well.
And Bridget said, and the vending machines.
Oh, the vending
boy.
machines.
Yeah,
You can get everything out of a
everywhere.
vending machine,
Yes.
right?
Yeah.
Everything.
Yeah.
You can get a laptop out of a vending machine.
We bought our eggs out of a vending machine down the street from our house.
Yeah, fresh eggs out of a vending machine. That's strange.
That's
We
But
like
I
to
mean-
go to the farmer down the road and buy some eggs from there. if we can.
Yeah. Yeah, I love the farm fresh eggs. Can't beat them.
I know. I wish we could take chickens with us.
Ooh, that'd be fun.
No, we can't garden. We can't keep animals. All these things that I had to give up as I was raised basically on property in Washington, and my mom raised everything.
Wow.
So it's tough to be kind of, you buy everything from a store now. And
Yeah. We would just kill any of the plants anyway. We can't keep a plant alive. We had one of those air plants that is just stuck on a piece of wood with glue. We killed it somehow. And it's supposed to live off of air.
What do you guys do with plastic plants?
I don't know. We're thinking about
Your
getting
air
some
is
ivy.
toxic.
We talked about getting some ivy for over the top of our coffee bar area, but
Yeah.
I don't know. Who knows what'll happen to that?
Well, you could get a garland like ours. It's
Yeah, that one's really
alive.
Did you guys go to Tokyo Disney?
No.
I wanted to. He doesn't like amusement parks, and the only reason I went to Tokyo, I went there twice. Besides going through the airport, I went to the Tokyo Quilt Show at the Tokyo Dome. And that was amazing. But
We did that a couple times. Right?
yeah, twice, and I was gonna go this past time too, but
The
was
Tokyo
canceled.
Quilt Show. That's
Yeah.
cool.
We went through Tokyo a bunch of times, but since we were really already in what's now Japan anyway, we didn't do anything touristy up there. We mostly went out and did other countries close by.
Okay. Now, did you guys have a favorite city in Japan that you went to?
Well,
we liked it.
not really. Yeah, it was the whole island. I mean, the whole island's only 70-something miles long, and at the narrowest, it's only 2 miles across.
Okay.
So it's pretty much smaller than a big city in the
Yes.
U.S.
Yeah.
All these questions are coming from Bridget, and she says Japanese quilts sound beautiful.
Oh yes, there were quilts from all over the world,
Oh,
so
wow.
it was great.
Wow. Okay, so do you have a bucket list things to see and do now that you're full time? Because you've been world travelers, but do you have things in the United States that you want to see?
Absolutely, and that's one of the reasons we came back is because we've been to almost all of the states already, but it's way different if you're just driving through to get somewhere than it is in the RV.
Yeah.
So we want to see some of the big things. I was stationed in Arizona for 7 to 8 years, and we've never seen the Grand Canyon.
Oh my goodness! Oh my goodness!
So
He always would say, it's just a big hole in the ground.
It is a massive, beautiful painting
It's amazing.
in a hole in the ground.
Yeah. I also want to see, I think it's in South Dakota, the Devil's Tower from Close Encounters of the Third Kind. And I have a great business opportunity for somebody that lives there. They need to have a food truck that sells mashed potatoes in the shape of the Devil's Tower, like on the movie.
That's awesome. That's a great
That's
idea.
great.
If you do it, let them know and they can tell me, or let me know. That'd be cool.
Oh my! You'll have to have some sort of option for those who can't eat the starches because of diet. So maybe cauliflowered rice will
Cauliflower.
fit
There you go.
into the
Yeah.
shape too. I don't know.
Yeah.
Maybe. actually like cauliflower, the cauliflower rice.
Yes,
Yeah.
we were supposed to have it tonight.
Yeah.
Cauliflower's expensive though, like broccoli for some reason.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, and I learned that in Asian countries, broccoli is like a delicacy.
Yeah, there's not
Yeah.
not much
Yeah.
broccoli served over there.
No, not a lot. No.
So I learned it because I was watching like things that they had to change in Disney movies to send them to other countries, and like the point where the baby's spitting out the broccoli in, it's the one about emotions, that video. Do you remember what that's called?
I don't
I can't remember.
what-
Anyway.
Inside Out.
Oh, Inside Out, yes. So the baby like tries the broccoli and it spits it out. They had to change it to like green beans because broccoli is considered a delicacy in
It would've-
Asia.
Would have offended
Yeah.
people in
Yeah,
Asia.
yeah. Why is that child spitting out this delicacy?
Yeah.
Oh,
Proceeding onward in America says, yes, RV travel through the States is way different than other types of travel.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We've noticed that. I mean,
Yeah.
there are times like when we went from Washington to St. Louis,
This
there are
summer.
so many places. I just want to be like, I want to stop right here. Like,
Yeah.
Wyoming.
Is
half
there a
of
white spot in the
Wyoming,
road
was
I can
just
pull
like-
over for a
Right,
minute?
right. But we were booking it from Washington to my job, so it was like
Oh yeah.
we couldn't stop except our overnight spots
Yeah.
that were basically Walmart.
Yeah, basically
Yeah.
Walmart.
Yeah, so we saw all the Walmarts from here, from Washington to St. Louis.
Yeah.
I heard like over 1,000 of them shut down recently or locked down on the
Camping.
overnight camping.
That's crazy.
Yeah,
Too
so
bad.
I mean, definitely check before you go
Yeah.
to make sure that
Yeah.
they still have it.
Yeah.
But we have new options now. Garrett and I have put out some videos on faithful
Faithful
parking.
parking,
So if you are traveling from one place to another and Walmart was your option and it's closed, try that. It's a lot up and down the East Coast so far. It hasn't come too far west, but they're planning.
It's similar to Harvest Hosts,
Oh,
which
yeah.
is for like churches hosting people.
no
that park
membership
in there.
fee. You just go on their
That makes
website,
sense.
find a
Some of the
location you
churches
want to
have
stay
big-
at,
yes.
and book it.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Yep.
Oh, that's cool.
And all the most of the funds that you pay to stay overnight go to that specific church, that
That's
specific
really
faith
cool.
community. Yeah.
Yeah.
So we, talking still about the bucket list, we
Oh.
lived in Hawaii before we went to Japan.
No.
I mean, Alaska. Alaska, big difference there. We lived in Alaska before we went to Japan, and we actually have some stuff stored at his buddy's house. So we want to go up and go to Alaska. While we were there, he went hunting north of Fairbanks, but neither of us have been actually to the Arctic Circle. So we'd like to go up and go to the Arctic Circle and work our way down. And
We were probably our hunting camp was probably an hour or so from the Arctic Circle.
Oh,
You
darn.
know where
the-
Where the Ice Road Trucker show is,
Yeah.
we were right there,
Yeah.
and that's real close. And I'm kicking myself for not going up there, but man, we saw the Northern Lights one night.
Mm-hmm.
We all just sat there with our heads on the back of our chairs and our mouths open. It was so awesome.
So that sounds like a summer trip. You're not going to do it in the dead of winter.
The first time I did it was I did it from Georgia into Anchorage
Mhm.
because I got a job, and it was January 9th I left Georgia. So
Pulling
I went to
what a change.
pulling a 35-foot trailer probably, tow behind.
Wow.
And so I went to Washington, picked up my dad because my dad had never been into Alaska either, and then we did the whole Alaska Highway into Anchorage. And then, believe it or not, the distance from Georgia to Washington is almost the same distance as it is from Washington to Anchorage.
I believe it. I totally believe
That
it.
doesn't seem right.
Yeah.
Yeah.
so we might go this summer if the borders open and everything calms down. But
Yeah.
if not, we're just going to go to Washington and then head east and go see New England. That's also on our bucket list.
Nice.
Yes.
That's the only states I
Nice.
haven't been to are up there in Maine and a couple others right in that area.
Yeah. We
John-
definitely want to go up there in the fall.
Yeah.
Fall time up
Yeah.
there in the Northeast.
Beautiful. Well, John Chalker joined us. Garrett, you want to catch us up on any comments there? I can't see
Bridget's asking about whipped cream, and then where did you guys live in Alaska?
So the whipped cream thing in Japan, they don't sweeten the whipped cream. It's good. You can really taste the creaminess more, but there's no sugar in it. So that's actually pretty good.
A lot of the sweets and stuff over there are a lot less sweet
Absolutely.
than American sweets. A lot of them don't even like American sweets. They're too sweet.
Too sweet, yeah.
All I remember is the chocolate bar my roommate gave me was delicious. It was one of the best chocolate bars I had ever had. So, yeah.
So what was the other part?
What was the
The
last
whipped cream,
part?
and then what was the other one?
Where did you live in Alaska?
Oh.
She's from Fairbanks.
Oh, cool.
She's in Fairbanks, yeah.
All right. So we lived in Palmer. And for those that don't know, it's about 30 miles 45 minutes north of Anchorage. So
Okay.
I actually worked in Anchorage and just commuted the 45 minutes or so a day.
Loved Palmer. It was a small town.
Oh, it was awesome.
Beautiful.
Yeah.
It was Washington on steroids.
Okay.
It really was.
Yeah.
You know how beautiful
beautiful it is.
the western side, at least, of Washington is. Go up to Alaska and it's like that times 10.
That's
A
awesome.
lot of animals, a lot of
Everywhere.
Yeah.
Moose and bear in our yard.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I used to
Nice.
count moose on my way to and from work, and had to stop on the highways a few times for bear crossings.
That's awesome.
So Bridget was asking, what was their channel name again? Their Jarhead and Ginger's Journey. The link is in the description and on the title. So
Come over and say hi.
come say hi.
It's about time now. Joined us. Hello.
Oh, hi.
Welcome
Hi.
to the channel. Welcome to our interview. Again, Garrett just told you who we're interviewing. This is Scott and Allison.
Yep.
And let's see, where am I on my questions here? We've asked a lot of questions that I didn't provide you with beforehand.
That's good, right?
I mean, it means that you have led a very interesting life.
Thank you.
That's usually what it means to me. Like, let's see. Bucket list items. That's what we've already covered. Tell us how the NRVTA fits into your travel plans now, because you're here at the school.
Mhm.
You've just done the fundamentals
Right.
class. What's your thinking with coming here?
Originally, my thought process was, well, I really don't know too much about RVs, except that they break. So I better find out something about them. And then started researching a little more into the Red Schoolhouse here. So once I started doing my research and found out that there was a pretty big demand right now for technicians, which is the way I'm going, the way Garrett just went, it kind of was a no-brainer, because now I can do my own stuff, and then I can also, everybody's talking about the side hustle nowadays. You got to have money coming in from somewhere.
Yep.
We are retired. We do have retirement funds, but wouldn't it be nice to put a little bit more away for something else?
Yeah.
So that, and then, so that's where it all kind of started for me. And then talking to her, she's like, well, why don't you just do all of them? And, then I'm like, well, I guess I could do that. And, throw a sign on the truck and drive around the RV parks. We're going to be in RV parks anyway.
Yeah.
It just made sense.
Mhm.
It made pretty good sense to me. So.
Well, and what people don't understand is if you actually make it your job, your business, then that money that you just put into that training, you can write it off on your taxes, which ends up helping in the long run.
Absolutely.
Yeah.
Yes, you have to put forward the $8,000 or so to begin with, and then whatever it takes business-wise to get a sole prop started, or
Mhm.
I could get off.
Yeah.
Garrett and I have been learning so much.
Wow.
Well, and that's one thing I've
Yeah.
really appreciated about this school, and that's really something that they don't talk about in other schools, is the business side of it.
Yes.
Most of the other schools they're strict trade schools,
And that's
And-
you're on your own when it comes
Yeah.
to setting up your business.
but really and truly all they're really doing is saying, here's the skills, go find a job.
Go work for somebody.
Go work for
Right.
somebody.
And what
And
they're
what-
doing here is saying, you have what it takes to be a business owner. Here are the resources that
Yeah.
you need.
Yes.
And they're willing to answer questions along the way.
And they even give you an hour and a half every morning of information about that, how to build your business, and your significant other gets to come for free.
Yeah.
Yeah,
So,
we
that was
enjoyed
pretty
that
cool.
class when we took it.
Yeah.
Yeah. So great. So it's a little side hustle. Yes, you're retired, but this is you're gonna use this so much. even just on your own rig. I was like, Garrett, can I hire an RV technician? The refrigerator isn't working quite right. Will you check it out? Will you please do your diagnostic thing on the refrigerator? Thank you very much.
Just do your stuff and make it work.
Just make it work, yeah.
Did you charge her? Cash, check, or credit, right?
The problem is that the
It just
credit
comes
card
out of your
company,
pocket anyway.
yeah.
Yeah. laundering money.
So before he decided to go and be a full-blown tech, I was planning, and I'm still planning to. I was a special education teacher, and you can't really do that on the road. So I'm going to be teaching English to kids in China. Yes. And the only thing so far is I was hoping to be up and running right now, but we're still trying to figure out our internet, and I've got to get my classroom set up. But but I'm thinking, I can, make $20-ish an hour teaching English, and I have to get up at, here in Texas, 6 a.m., California, it'd be 4 a.m., or I could just be his secretary and business manager.
It's true.
He could get out there, about 5 times what I'm making, I can sleep in.
Are you planning to use a company to go through to teach, or are you setting it up?
Yeah, I'm planning on VIP Kids. I tried to start with them last summer, but had some hang-ups with us getting ready to move and all. So yeah, we've
heard VIP Kids.
Yeah,
we have a friend who's trying to get into that as well. That we met Thanksgiving time. Yeah, so
I could never do it. You have to be real bubbly. And
yes.
I'm just not that guy.
I'll fix your rig though.
Yeah, that's right. Give me a couple weeks, but in there, call him. He's ready.
Yeah. Graham says we will do Alaska on a cruise one day. Garrett and I have already done that. May time. It was
still cold.
Very cold.
Oh yeah.
It was cold.
But
there
it was
a lot
a
of
cruise
rain
ship, and it was
that
all
was
inclusive.
Like sleety.
Nice.
So
it was a very nice cruise.
It was,
really nice. The best vacation I've had since we started having kids.
Seeing it from the water. Did you see any of the glaciers and all?
Yes.
Calving?
Oh, that's beautiful.
We did a glacier tour on a boat when we were up there and watched them calve and everything. That was really cool. And then they brought some of the ice on board and let everybody have a drink out of it. It was like orange juice or something. But it was really cool. It was really cool.
We couldn't do that because all the cruise ships are so big.
Cruise ships are huge.
Just let's just scoop something out there.
Yeah. No, it was very, very nice. I was pregnant with Timothy at the time, so we left Emma with parents.
You said March y'all went, or May?
It was May. It was like the beginning of the cruise season. The ship was transitioning from like
the
Caribbean up to their Alaska cruise for the summer. So we got a really good price on it, which was really funny because I think there were some people cruising that had joined like
in the Caribbean.
No, like they were from I'm trying to remember.
Australia?
They were from Australia, and they had joined in the Caribbean and had done that whole tour and decided to stay on for the Alaska cruise. So I don't know how many days they've been on. They were the longest traveling on the cruise.
Well, that'd be a long one.
Yeah.
Bridget was like, "It's just ice." Oh,
it's just ice.
I just said, "No, it's glacier ice."
Yeah.
Hello.
And it would probably dropped as snow how many years ago? Who knows?
Yeah.
The last time that was water was eons ago.
It's About Time Now says, great to have multiple streams of income, and Garrett and I are really learning that too. So that's our goal, is to have multiple streams, and in the future have multiple streams that are passive income, where we're not putting out a lot of effort for it. So active and passive incomes are different. Very different.
Yep.
So.
Bridget said, "Just kidding. Did you ever see any ice sculptures?" ?
In Anchorage, in the I think it's about the same time as the Burrandi, which is the start of the Iditarod. They have a ice sculpture competition in Anchorage, and
that's cool.
It's always beautiful. People come from all over the world, and it's set up in downtown Anchorage. It's beautiful.
Were you there for the Iditarod then?
Yes.
The start of it? Mm-hmm. Very cool.
It's the unofficial start of the Iditarod, actually.
Yeah.
They actually truck snow in and put it on the main road there. So if you ever watch it, it's the real sled dogs and the real teams and everything. But it's just like to get everybody in the mood for it or whatever. And then I think it starts the next day or the next week or whatever somewhere else.
That's cool.
But it is really cool.
things like they bring in reindeer
Oh, yeah.
and they have a race with the reindeer.
Running with
people,
the reindeer.
Yeah, running with the reindeer. People
Like
dress up
running
in
with the bulls?
costumes. Yeah,
Kind of, except you're running with them basically.
Yeah.
They're not trying to get you.
They're a lot tamer than the bulls that
Oh,
run
yeah.
through the streets in Spain. Oh my goodness.
Yeah.
Bridget is asking, is YouTube income passive?
Well, not.
In a way,
I mean,
it
in
is,
a way, once you have the videos uploaded
that are being viewed,
that is passive. But you have to keep YouTube pushing your channel. You have to constantly be uploading something on a regular basis.
Yeah.
So it's partly passive. I mean, the videos that we're seeing a lot of income from, which actually isn't that a whole lot at this point, are from videos that Garrett made 3 years and 2 years ago.
Mm-hmm.
Wow.
And then a couple are catching on from like a year ago. So, and they're searchable videos, tech stuff,
Yeah.
Oh yeah.
fixed,
And
and
fixed diagnostics.
Yeah.
It's like an OBD reader for your
Yeah.
car.
Oh yeah.
That runs off like an app on your phone.
and then our Lippert auto leveling, how to fix the error
Like the
that
error,
pops
yeah.
up. You know, as you're trying to level your system, and it all of a sudden, error, we can't level.
How to reset it.
How to reset it. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
We know
those
how
are
to do it
searchable.
now.
Searchable.
Yep.
Yeah. All right. Well, since you're new to RVing, 2 months in, what is one tip that you would give to new RVers?
Don't be in a hurry. For just about anything. If Google Maps tells you it's 3 hours, plan for about 4 or 5. Even though when we're driving down the road, we're doing 60 or 65. Some of the roads out here are 75 now, but we're still about 60, 65. We're averaging about 50 miles an hour.
Mm-hmm.
You know, if our mileage is 200 miles, it takes us 4 hours to get there. That's just the way it is.
Yeah, that's good. I mean, in anything, just
Yeah.
take your time. Take your time planning. Take your time getting to know your systems. Take your time. Yeah, it's not just getting to your next location.
Yeah.
And I would say if you're preparing to go full time or even not, you got to think about the space that you have, what you're bringing into it. If you think that you're finished downsizing, think again. We did some downsizing videos when we were still living in Japan, preparing to pack it all up, have the government move it to the U.S. And so it was during where you can't have garage sales and you can't have flea markets and all. So I ended up donating so much stuff, more than half of our stuff. And then the biggest thing that I brought, I'm a quilter, so I brought my sewing machine and fabric. That took over half of our weight allowance, I think, or the weight that we brought back.
Yeah.
And so I thought I had it all narrowed down, and we get into the RV, and we did a few Goodwill runs, and we took a whole truckload of stuff to my friend's house.
Had the whole bed of my truck was full of stuff. The whole back seat was full of boxes of stuff.
Yeah.
And that was after we downsized in Okinawa to only 2,000 pounds. We had 2,000 pounds of stuff from our gigantic house we had in Okinawa. And we're like, oh, that'll fit in there easy, no problem. It could have fit, but we wouldn't have been able to move around even in the toy hauler space.
Yeah, I don't need 6 slotted spoons.
No, you need one.
That's it.
Maybe 2. I have a couple of items, and then I have my one wooden spoon for the kids' backsides. I mean, really, you throw things in drawers, and then you're like, you pull them out later, and I haven't looked at this. You needed it in 6 months. That's gone.
Yep.
Yeah. And then for us, because we usually go to a location and then we're there for a contract, so we're there for at least 3 months. We sit still for that long, and stuff accumulates, and then the week before leaving or 2 weeks before leaving, we do that purge where we're kind of going through all the closets and the underbelly and this and that, and getting rid of things before we move to kind of downsize your weight.
Yeah.
And we're not the only ones that do it. Our friends Bill and Natasha from Nursing Our Travel Bug, they're like, oh yeah, you're in that pre-move purge, aren't you? We're like, uh-huh. They know.
You just sit still and you start accumulating things again.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, it's weird. Stuff it's like magnet.
Yeah. It was really funny because we were camping with them in May, and we were both having to move and go because our contract was canceled. And Will, their youngest, brought a couple toys over and said, "Hey, do the kids want these? We don't need them anymore. We're purging." And I'm like, "Well, don't bring them over to us. Oh my goodness, because we have to do the same thing.
We just have to get rid of them too."
We do, yes. Yeah. So, yeah, you'll probably end up in a couple of months going through the trailer again and being like, "Oh, I really didn't need to bring that. Oh, I really didn't need that."
There's a Goodwill in town.
Yeah.
Oh yeah,
Yes,
I've seen it.
I've already taken a couple of bagfuls of things.
If I
to
had
the
my
Goodwill.
way, we would only have a couple of things in each drawer, I think.
Yeah.
We wouldn't hardly have anything.
Yeah.
Yeah, I go through my clothing like pretty regularly, and I made Garrett go through his, because I don't think you've even like purged your clothing in a year or two.
No.
So I pulled it all out, and he went through it, and we got rid of a couple of bagfuls of clothing.
Wow.
Yep.
It's always good.
Yeah.
It's good to walk out with a couple bags of stuff and take it to the Goodwill.
Exactly.
When she said fabric was half of our stuff, she wasn't kidding. I have all of it. We put it in those space bags and sucked all the air out of it. I have 3 of them, and that and a couple other sewing things fills the underside of our bed.
Yeah.
And we have a king.
Yeah.
So that's how much fabric and stuff she has.
Oh, wow.
And there's still a couple of bins of stuff too.
And every time I see a
Hobby Lobby?
Hobby Lobby or
Oh,
a
yeah?
Joann's, I'm like, look. He's like, nope.
No, you have all you need. You have all you need.
That's now the Nope store.
Ready Set Autism family has joined us as well. Hello, welcome. These are wonderful new friends. Their channel is called Jarhead and Ginger's Journey. Scott and Allison.
We actually follow them as well because I'm a special ed teacher, and so I love working with kids with autism.
Oh, that's great. Awesome. Bridget is she does crocheting. Yarn is light, but she just sent a box of downsizing yarn to her daughter. So again, decluttering, finding yarn she's not using, and off it goes.
Nice. It may be light, but it takes up a lot of space.
I can.
Bulky.
Yeah, I can.
Fabric's light too, but she has to have 200 pounds, at least.
That's a lot. That's
yeah, that is a lot.
So you use it for quilts?
Yes,
mainly.
I do, and we have a hairless dog. His name is Harry, and he's a Chinese crested hairless, and he is freezing. He's used to being on an island in the sun, and we're getting snow tomorrow, and I have this pattern to make him some dog clothes. I don't know how to follow a pattern. I'm a quilter. I didn't even know how to thread a sewing machine until I met 2 friends in Japan that were quilters, and I wanted to go to a quilting retreat with them, and they're like, well, it's a quilting retreat. You don't quilt. So I took lessons to go to the retreat, and here I am. But my poor dog is going to freeze because he can't wear my quilts outside.
Well, I know how to cut out a pattern and follow directions. If you want help, I can help you.
But you're leaving.
I'm sorry. We can work on it tonight and tomorrow. I can point you in the right direction. Patterns aren't that difficult. They really aren't. I followed my first pattern when I was like 8 or 9.
Wow.
With my mom's help, and did a little pencil skirt sort of.
I've followed patterns before. She doesn't think I can read the directions.
Yeah, it's pretty much like a recipe, or if you're mounting a TV on the wall, you have to know certain sewing terms. Edison is in here in his boots. And so I mean, you can teach yourself anything on the internet, right?
Right.
So if you come into the pattern tells you to do something, and you're like, I don't recognize and know what that term is. Just look it up.
Right.
Look it up.
YouTube.
Yeah. YouTube it for sure. Oh man, talk about the weather. It is cold.
It is.
You guys, I don't think it's gotten above 50 degrees today.
No, and it hasn't in the last couple days.
Not the last couple
it's
days.
like 47, 45.
Yeah. It feels nice in the sunshine today because there's no wind, and that sun kind of radiates and warms you up. But we're expecting snow. I think the whole Henderson County is on a storm watch for snow. So
up to 4 inches, I heard.
Yeah.
Well, and the storm is going all the way up to 2 feet up in Amarillo.
Yeah, wow.
It's a huge storm coming through.
Wow.
Yeah, huge storm sweeping like just northern Texas, and I think it should even hit some of the other states too along its path. But yeah, cold. Chilly in Florida too. Oh,
Yep.
I mean
It's
that's
coming
bad
on.
when you can't even go to Florida and be warm.
Yeah, what's going on?
I guess if you go all the way down to the Keys, maybe it'll be warm there.
Mhm.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bridget said, we have a son who is on spectrum. Special ed teachers are wonderful people. Yes, they
Thank you.
are. Bridget was also a teacher. She taught
Oh.
music. And so we had our first Zoom session with the kids, and Bridget is teaching them how to play the recorder.
Oh, cool.
Fun.
Yeah, it worked out pretty well. I think they'll hang on to doing those lessons at least for a while yet.
Yeah.
And I'm teaching them a little bit of piano as we can, as they have interest in it. I don't force them to do it. I've had too many lessons of gnashing of teeth. I don't want to do this.
Right.
Well, then we're not going to do it.
Well, howdy there. Nursing Our Travel Bug is
Hi,
decided
Nursing Our
to
Travel
join us.
Bug.
Hi,
Welcome,
guys.
Bill and Natasha.
We
Aw.
barely missed them. We were literally supposed to go the day that we got the notification and meet these guys, and she got sick.
Yeah.
Oh,
so we couldn't go.
We were gonna meet at Salt Lick Barbecue. Oh.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So we didn't even get Salt Lick. Luckily, I have my Traeger.
Yes.
Nice. So, Graham Patterson said that first saw Jarhead when they were cooking a rib, I think over in Japan.
Ooh, yum.
Yeah, it was a brisket on the Traeger.
Yeah, the
Oh,
brisket.
yeah.
Yeah,
You
I have
had the
a few.
Traeger over there, and you brought it back.
Yes. I was actually not going to buy a Traeger until we got back, but then COVID hit and I was locked in and I'm like, what the heck, let's do it. So I got a Traeger. The first brisket I did was meh. The second brisket I did was spot on, and
Nice.
it's not smoking, so if there's any real smoker guys that uses the firewood out there, I know it's not smoking, but man, it's good.
Well, we've got Jason who lives just up
In Sulphur Springs.
here in Texas, and he ran a meat shop for a really long time and started that business up, just sold it. But oh my gosh, he makes the best barbecued meat, and he makes these chicken and steak bombs. Oh, yeah. Like,
What
so
they call
it's
like chicken grenades.
chicken grenades. That's what they're called, not bombs. Chicken grenades. So it starts with like sour cream, sort of, or probably more like
Cream cheese.
cream cheese with all kinds of good things. And then you've got some sort of hot pepper that he wraps around it, and then he wraps the meat around it, and it's all stuck together with toothpicks. And then he'll grill that. Oh my gosh, it is to die for.
Sounds good.
It is to die for. Edison, are you gonna stay inside?
I just want candy.
Oh no, you're not getting candy. Are you gonna come in and crash our live stream? Come on. Come on. You don't want to be on camera? No? Are you getting too cold? Maybe you want to go in the bedroom and do something? This is what happens when we leave the kids outside for live stream. They come in and out and in and out and in and out and in and out. But it's life. We can't pause our life all the time for our live streams. So, yeah.
Especially when it's cold, I bet.
Yeah.
You gotta come in and warm up every once in a while.
Yeah, exactly. So, Edison, say hi to everybody. Wave at the camera right there.
We'll warm up here for a bit.
It's about time now is saying, sounds great. Hungry now. Love cream cheese. I know. I love cream cheese too. I love it thick. Really thick on English muffins. Toasted English muffins. That's the best.
So Bridget was asking how many children you guys have. I think we mentioned it earlier on when we first started out.
Four.
Four.
One boy and 3 girls, and they're all grown and gone.
So
Our
sad.
youngest is 20.
Okay.
So sad when they all grow up, right?
We have one grandbaby that's 5 years old.
Oh,
Grandson.
Oh, that's awesome. Miss Bridget says hi.
You say hi, Miss Bridget?
lately he's been acting shy in front of the camera, which is totally out of character for him.
Oh yeah.
What's wrong?
Do you want to go in your bedroom? Okay. Can you take your boots off, please? Stomp, stomp, stomp. Take your boots off. He's like, I'm the center of attention.
Yeah.
There you go. Okay.
So as we're kind of wrapping this thing up, where can people follow you guys as far as following your journey, following, on social media?
We do have a YouTube channel, Jarhead and Ginger's Journey. That's with an ampersand. If you type Jarhead and hit the ampersand, we'll come up immediately. Allison also does most of the social media stuff, so I'll let her talk about that.
I have our Facebook page that I keep up. I have Instagram, but I have to get better about keeping that up.
Posting regularly.
Yes.
Yeah.
I do Twitter. I'm on there every so often. I will post updates on our videos there and things also.
Okay.
And I started a MeWe, but I don't know how to work it yet, so I just gotta figure that out too.
So many new places.
Yes.
Yeah.
So many places. That's awesome. Well, that's great. And Garrett did say earlier that he has put a link to your YouTube channel in the description, so
Awesome.
all of you can check them out and find those yummy videos of you grilling in Japan. I'm just like, it's dinner time. I'm hungry. It sounds delicious.
Yeah.
Give me something to eat.
Yeah. I think we're gonna do another brisket next weekend.
Oh, that's
What do you call that little machine that you're cooking your dinner in?
Instant Pot.
Oh, good job.
Yeah.
Good job.
Yeah.
One of my pet peeves is when somebody says Instapot.
Instapot.
I'm
Yeah.
like, no, go look at it. Go read it. You're missing something there.
Instant Pot.
Well, if you say it fast enough, it just sounds like Instapot.
Yeah, which I think is where most people start
the-
calling it Instapot because
Yes.
if you say it fast, it sounds
Yeah.
that way. So yeah.
Now, Reddy said Autism Family asked, would the 4 kids visit and travel with you guys? So when you guys traveled, all over, did you take your family with you the whole time?
When we were traveling before or now?
Before.
Before, yes. Until they all, grow up and moved away, they were traveling with us. They all went to Japan.
Mm-hmm.
The oldest 2 went to Germany before, with her.
My older 2 were born in Germany, in
Yeah.
Berlin.
Okay.
And then our youngest was born in Japan. So
Okay,
But-
so 2 in Germany,
Mhm.
1 in Japan. Where was the?
Arizona.
Yuma,
Okay.
poor thing.
Yuma.
Hey, you it's not bad, is it?
It was bad when we were there because he was gone all the time. We were newlyweds. He was always deployed, and
Yeah.
but we went back there a few months ago on our way back from California to Texas, and
I
enjoyed
still
it.
have some really good Marine Corps buddies there. So
Yes.
it was fun.
Yeah, yeah. We're kind of hoping that we can get a job in Yuma, but
Yeah.
there's not much out there at this point
Hmm.
that's like within my purview for nursing. So,
Our youngest one had the best life because she was the only one left when we got back to Okinawa this last time. So she got to travel to Bali and
go all
all
over the
over
place.
those places.
Yeah. She got to see the most of the world.
Yeah.
That's cool.
She even got to go to the Philippines. We didn't get
Oh,
to go,
yeah.
but she went twice on a missions trip to the Philippines on a medical missions, and she got to handle some of the gory stuff that came up, like
That's cool.
somebody
Yucky skin
put
things
a
or whatever.
nail through their hand or something like that. And she got
yeah.
to assist with that, and so that.
Did
that
she
was
have
great.
any medical training, or did she just go to
No,
assist?
she was in high school still, so she went. The assistant pastor was a medic for the Air Force, I think, and retired, and so he
That's
was
cool.
their medical expert. And they also had a couple of doctors go along, I believe.
Yeah,
and,
yeah. One of my roommates went during nursing school. I think it was like between junior and senior year, or maybe it was even earlier than that. And she went on a medical missions to like Guatemala or something like that. And she
Yeah.
said that they taught her. She's a nursing student, okay? Had 1 year of nursing school or 2 maybe, and they taught her how to do procedures that only a doctor would do here.
Oh no.
Yeah. Yeah.
That would be scary, wouldn't
like they're diagnostic type procedures. They're
Right.
but they're still invasive, and she was taught how to do them. So
Oh, wow.
I won't mention what it is because it's
Yeah.
If I had my nursing friends on, I would, but I do have to think about the DFAM too, and filter my nursing brain, my nursing mouth and symptoms.
Yeah.
I have no problem talking about all kinds of blood and gore and guts, but it's tough for her.
What's funny is the things that most people would freak out about. She's like, she goes into like
Nurse mode.
Nurse mode, and it's like this level-headed person. And I'm like, I just almost cut my finger off. But then other things, she freaks out, and I'm like, it'll be okay. It'll be fine.
Oh my gosh, we're having problems with the truck or the car. It's things that I don't understand, right?
Yeah.
My level of anxiety goes up, but with medical things, it's like, it doesn't help to get anxious. I will get really loud and in your face if I need something.
Yeah.
Garrett, call 911, please. But now our last incident happened in Arizona in January, so it's been about a year. Emma cut her lip with a pair of scissors.
Oh,
and it was
How she
right.
did it,
It was right at the end of a live stream, you guys. So if you just go back to our live streams in January of last year, you'll find it. But luckily, we just pulled in to camp in the desert with some friends who he's an ICU nurse.
Yeah.
And he's like, oh yeah, I pilfered some
Eternabond.
Dermabond. Because I was like, I have no way of closing this up. And he's like, I've got some Dermabond. I think we can do it. And he glued her lip shut, closed again. So,
Well, you can buy Dermabond.
I told Garrett, go online, buy me some Dermabond, and I have spread them out between all the first aid kits, so I have what I need. I'm like, yeah.
That's pretty good though. If it's been a year and no other incidents.
No
since
major medical. Yeah. And we've actually recently all gone into the doctor and had our checkups, and Edison is up on his immunizations. The other two had theirs. So we're good. We're all set for another year. Had our dental appointments.
Nice.
Yeah. How is that again, I keep thinking, oh yeah, how is that getting medical attention in other countries? But you had it through
the bases for the most
so
part.
It's all the same.
But we did, they won't do, the last time I was over there, I was a civilian, and they won't do dental work for civilians on base. They're too busy, I guess, or whatever. So luckily I had to, not luckily, I had to get a root canal, but luckily I went out in town, and a root canal over there was like $600.
Yeah.
A root canal here is like, what, $2,500 or something like that?
I don't know. It can be expensive.
I was
without insurance, yeah.
I had a filling that went out too. One of the old school metal ones or whatever. And I went to a guy there, and he took it out and put in a new white one because he said it has sticky to it where the metal doesn't. I had no clue that was a thing. So I'd made plans to get them all replaced with the new white stuff while I was over there, and COVID.
They shut everything down.
So, yeah.
Well,
it wasn't
there's
necessary.
always Mexico.
Yeah. That's next.
We have friends who are like, we're going to do it. We're going to get down there and get our dental stuff done. And, you do what you have to do. We have insurance. It's our biggest bill.
Yep.
And it's kept our medical expenses pretty, we're all set up here in Texas now, which helps. But we also had this money in an HSA account from before we went full-time. I was putting away as I knew that we were going full-time, and we would change our plan to a different plan. So it was like, quick, hurry, put this money tax-free away in this HSA account so that we have it. And it knock on wood, we haven't had to do any ER or any hospital stays, because that can rack up really fast.
Oh, yeah.
So, urgent care is the way to go if they can take care of it in urgent care.
Yep.
Because they won't charge you like an ER will.
Oh.
Yeah, ERs will charge you this huge fee for turning the room over.
Oh, yeah.
Just cleaning it, yeah. Anyway, Yeah, we're back on healthcare. Sorry. Ready, set, autism.
Yeah.
But my Instant Pot is starting to hiss because we're right up. We're right at 5. So.
Yeah, so we can go ahead and start wrapping it up.
Yeah.
Well, thank you guys so much for coming and spending some time with us. And
It's been great.
I was telling them before, this is the first time we've done one like this. We've been on lives before, but we've always been in our own little cubbyhole talking to somebody else on the internet, right? So this was fun. We had a lot of fun.
Absolutely.
we love interviewing people, but what we really love is being able to sit down with someone and talk back and forth.
Yeah. Have conversation, get to know you more.
Yeah.
I wonder sometimes if it's one-sided because we're the ones always asking questions and getting to know you really well. And then, do our interviewees walk away not knowing us?
Yeah.
But, yeah, we try to be as personal as we can. I mean, COVID really put a kink in the way we like to live our life, getting to know people and making friends, and it's been tough.
Yeah.
It's been very tough for us this last year. So we are looking forward to new things.
Absolutely.
Mm-hmm. But everyone out there, stay safe. Those of you in northern Texas, be ready for the snow. Stay warm. Of course, we've got a lot of people who are probably in northern states who are being hit hard with the snow. So we're thinking about you. Head to Arizona, Quartzsite. We'll see you there next week. Garrett, we are going to be traveling. We might do a quick live next Saturday once we get to Quartzsite and get set up. Yeah. But it won't be our normal. If we can do it at the normal time at 4 p.m., we will. 4 p.m. Central. So.
But we'll let you guys know. So
we'll let you know. All right.
All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. If you like this video, make sure to give it a thumbs up. And as always,
live life intentionally. Bye, everyone.
Bye.